From the darkness of the night emerges a new board game. It's bloody boss battle from 1 to 4 players. Come with me and see what the box of this board game hides. In this game you will take control of one of the monster hunters from a circus troupe. They have all undertaken the dangerous mission of facing the vampire army and defeating Dracula himself. The unique skills are represented by tactic cards. Each hero has their own unique deck of cards, which will be expanded during the game with new abilities and items obtained in the village. During the game, the heroes will test their traits and use their individual abilities to defeat the champions of the Prince of the Night and better prepare for the fight against Dracula. Each hunter plays their character card with statistics on their own hero board, where their set of cards is also placed. The hunter's miniatures is then placed on the game board, which in this prototype version of the game is the catacombs, but in the final game there are expected to be more different locations. Speaking of terrains, each game board will consist of a set of hexagonal location tiles. The different types are marked with symbols in the corner of each tile. So based on the terrain card assigned to a given mission, the area tiles should be arranged accordingly the form of the game map. Some of the tiles require 3D elements such as crypts or tombs with which the heroes can interact. But now take a closer look at Dracula's champions. Each has their own tactic cards. Each of them is unique. Their traits are described on boards dedicated of each of them. Razvan is first son of Dracula, commander of his armies, and hero of the Blood Sword. Just look at him. In Blood, you can play in 3 game modes. First, story mode, where players will face a series of generated scenarios attempting to defeat the vampire lord. Second, roguelite mode allows player to play individual games called runs, where each playthrough changes the entire game, upgrading characters and gradually weakening Dracula. And the last one, single battle mode, a quick challenge for players to collectively defeat Dracula or one of his champions in a single playthrough. Lucilla is one of the Dracula's most powerful brides. Raziel was a noble warrior obsessed with the quest for immortality. Through dark practices, he obtained power over the souls of mortals and arcane artifacts with which they challenged Dracula himself. When the Dark Lord defeated him, he made him his son, but cut off his wings to punish him. In the board game Blood, each of Dracula's champions has 3 cards depicting their weaknesses, each with special effects. These are the body parts of a given vassal that hunters will target to defeat such a champion. The battles in this game take place during the night phase, while during the day phase players return to the village. There they can visit different locations as alchemist's laboratory or the cartographer's office to buy cards with their resources, which allow them to develop their decks. And the statistic of their resources in this game is represented as a circus caravan, where players mark how many and what type of resources they acquired during the night phase. But returning to the night phase, besides champions, hunters also encounter minions. There are several types such as the assassin ghoul, predator, warden undead of whole hordes of bats. And here is the Razvan again, his miniature, but this one is a bit different from the one Ariel. With this figurine is set of a card and tokens, and you can add to Black Rose Wars, the board game, as well as playing in a pre-created role-playing game scenario from the Nova Etas universe. So, a vampire appears in the Dark Renaissance. ward as evocation in Black Rose Wars and as your enemy. And this model is made of plastic. It's not a resin prototype, and this figurine shows how the vampire's miniatures can finally look in this board game. But returning to the dark world of Vampire, battles against Ludus minions in Blood are handled through a chaining system where chains of cards are resolved in sequences from the Nightboard. So first we resolve the event card section. Then, moving rightward, we have chains of tactic cards played by individual hunters. Moving further on, here we change direction from right to left. The Nemesis phase involves resolving tactic cards of the champions we are fighting. And at the top is the treat track, which depends on the types of card played by the hunters. And next, the minions present on the board activate, and their card abilities must be resolved sequentially. Okay guys, that's all from me today. Now I will retreat to my dark crypt away from the sunlight. And to all of you, thank you very much for watching my video. I leave the link to the campaign page of this board game in the description below, and I encourage you to leave a like and maybe join to my subscribers for more content like this. And now, see you next time.